Yeah. So hello guys, this is the day 4 and I, Amit Murmu, has been stepped up as the host, or we can say the interviewer. So we will shortly start the meet. So yeah. Yeah. So first, Vishal, your question is that you need to explain what is the difference between the React and the traditional JavaScript frameworks like Angular or Vue.
Okay, so React is a JavaScript open source library built by Facebook. Uh, React basically uses for building UI or page applications, emphasizing on component based structure architecture and uh, React has unidirectional data flow. React is React has declarative way of programming, and React uses JSX, by which we can write HTML like code inside our React. So this is basically React, and in the other hand, uh, Angular and Vue are frameworks. Let's talk about Angular. So basically, uh, Angular is offering inbuilt solutions for routing, state management, and Angular has two ways of data binding. And if I talk about Vue, so Vue is also progressive framework, focuses on uh, like Vue also offering us two ways data binding and component based architecture. Uh, Yeah, this is what I know about this. So basically, the difference between React and React versus Angular and Vue. So React focuses on page application for building UIs and requiring external tools for routing and state management. While in the other hand, Angular and Vue are more comprehensive solutions because it has inbuilt solutions for routing and state management.
Fine. Yeah, that was enough, more than enough. So Santosh, you need to tell me what is JSX and why is it used in React? And can a React application work without JSX?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, you are audible.
yeah. So in tech, JSX is a JavaScript XML code in the syntax extensions. Basically, the JavaScript code retain JavaScript that allow to return HTML code like directly uh, within the JavaScript. It is commonly used to the JavaScript. Like it is commonly used in React, defining the structures and the user interfaces and then declare it the readable way. So and the yeah, and the JSX can make the code as a more readable by allowing the developers to more dependency and component structures to uh, format to closely the closely to the HTML code. So
Yeah, that's it. So your question was not enough, although you tried best. So basically, JavaScript XML is an extension to our normal JavaScript, which enables HTML code writing inside the JavaScript. And you didn't answer. Can we, create React apps without using JSX? Is it possible?
Uh, yeah. You can write the code in using the um, like a React dot create element. So you can write it without the JSX.
Yes. Good. So yeah.
In
So hmm.
I will explain the deeply. So in a React application without the JS, but it is a you can say that the you can inserted the JSX without using the uh, JavaScript XML code. Uh, you can write it down the like React dot create element function directly to the function directly to the create React elements. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
Reasons to
Okay. Yeah. That's enough.
that.
That's enough. So Maheen, you need to answer me. What is the state in React and how is it different from props? So you need to you need to tell me what is state and how is it different from the props.
So let's understand both of the definitions. First, state means handling any state. For example, I have a variable, I want to update it later. So in this scenario, we use state. For example, const, and I have some state in a array, then comma state, and we use state. And the props is like a passing data between components. For example, I have one component, products. I want to, and I have one component, and I have another of component like product for the listening or products. For example, it's a card as a, okay. So I want to pass it some data. I want to map over it the data. So this is what prop. I will use prop. I will pass the data dynamically and I will use another child component in parent component. This is what a prop, and the state means the handling state and like storing the data, updating it later. So this is what difference between state and prop.
Nice. Fine. Okay, that was enough. Good. Vishal, tell me about what's React's context API and its use cases, and how does it help in React state management?
Okay. So basically, React Context API is a solution of prop drilling. Uh, like it is a solution of prop drilling. Basically, we don't need to like uh, define like multiple layers of props, so that to pass the data from uh, pass the data from a different component to get the final output. This is the solution of prop drilling. We can just globally declare the state, or I can use wherever I want to use the state. So basically, for declaring global state, uh, hello.
Yeah, yes, Vishal, you're audible. Have you completed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The use cases
Fine.
also, I'll tell you some of the use cases. So basically, as I said, that context API enables the global state management without using prop drilling. Some of the use cases are, I can say that with the help of context API, we can set the authentication globally on your UI, or like whatever you want to set globally on your UI, uh, that can be used in any of the component in your UI, which is these are the use cases of. And you can also implement the theme management of your entire UI by using use context. So theme
Okay.
management and authentication, these are the use
Yeah.
cases.
Nice. Fine. That was enough and clear. So Santosh, you need to tell me about what is the use of use effect hook. First, tell me what is use effect hook and the uses of use effect hook.
Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
So what is the use effect hooks work, right?
Yeah, what is use effect hook and the uses of use effect hook?
Okay, the uses. So yeah, the use effect hooks is a React hook. It allows to the functions component in managing the state. It provides the simply way to the declare the state variable like uh, updating and the values and the mm, use state is accepting the initial the value of argument and the returning the returning the array with the two elements. So current state value and the current state value and the update the new state. You can say that the new state and the yeah.
Sorry, Santosh. You have been like confused between use state and use effect. I said about use effect. Tell me use effect.
Okay. Use effect. So use effect is a basically use uh, use. Take minute, just a second. Are you talk about the use state or the use effect?
No, use state is for managing state and like updating it whenever we want. But I want use effect.
Okay, use effect. So use effect is a React hook. It allows it allows to the uh, handling the state variable, handling the state, uh, not handling. It's manage the state to to just a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Hook allows to the managing the data. Uh, uh,
Okay, let's not stress on this question. Let's move this question to mine. Okay, mine, you tell me about what is use effect and its uses.
Okay, so basically, use effect is used for handling side effects. For example, if we are fetching data or something, we have to go beyond the replication and we have to do some side effect work. And also, it's also required for we do re-renderings and updating or not updating, but it's a effect on our component renders, and also for if there is an empty dependency error, so it will render once, when it will mount, right? And second time, if we have some dependency inside there, so on every update, it will re-render, updates and of that state, it will re-render our component. And last is the a component did unmount. Like it means when we if we write some return statement inside use effect, so on unmount it will occur. So in asset it is for the life cycle. In a outside that component we use use effect for handling life cycle methods. So this is what use effect.
Nice. Basically, it is a hook which we can use in functional components. Okay, Vishal, you need to tell me about what is the difference between controlled and uncontrolled components in React.
Okay, so basically, the basically control component are the component which controlled by React only. They are not controlling their own state. It's a state controlled by the React only. So these are the controlled components. For example, form elements are the control components. So a state managed by the React only, and the components which state is not controlled by the React. These components control their own state. So these components are called uncontrolled components. Basically, the components which states controlled by the React only. These components are called controlled component. For example, for form elements, and the components which are not controlled by React. These controlled by itself only. So these type of elements are called uncontrolled components.
Good, fine. Adding to your information, control components uses most of the React tools, like we use effect, use state, and all the data or state management hooks while working with control components. But all the other components which doesn't use these hooks, or there is no involvement of React, there we manually go and change the DOM elements or change the data. There React has no control. So those are uncontrolled components. Nice. Okay, so Santosh, you need to tell me about how does React handle form submissions and what is the purpose of event.prevent default in this context? Santosh, you are muted.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, now you're audible.
Yes. So basically the the event or prevent sorry, the React handling submissions event or prevent uh, is a uh, like a JavaScript is a JavaScript uses and the just a second, I will form the okay. So in the okay, I will start the answers. Okay, the in React in the React submissions are the uses that typically handled by controlling the components and component yeah, components where the uh, yeah where the input and the component state are the submission to manage the event dot prevent default. So the okay, I explain it. Just a second.
If the answer is currently not in your mind, I can have I have another question for you if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your next question is, what is the purpose of React's key prop and why is it important? So the keyword in React we use while iterating over the list components or list elements. So why do we use key props and why is it important?
Okay. In React. Okay. So in React, the key props is playing the crucial roles in the re-rendering the list of elements such as array and the components, such array and array or components, ensuring the efficiency updating and the efficiency of updating the props and the reconciliations during the re-rendering. So uh, React helps to the identify which item has changed uh, in the code and what added or the remove the code in the re-rendering process. So basically, uh, basically used for the these purpose and uh, the purpose of the key in uh, the purpose of key is a unique identify element. It the key props provide the unique identifier for each element list. Uh, and the uh, and the second one is React 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 used to key props by minimizing the number of DOM, updating the during re-render, the list re-rendered the list changes. React can key the determine which item has changed changes. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So your although you answered the question, but it was little unclear. So let me clear. Obviously, list key is a keyword in React which used when we try to go over a list elements, like we have multiple list elements and we render all the list elements. So just to distinguish between each and every element, React uses this key so that it identifies each and every element so that while re-rendering it or while updating each and every element, it knows which to update and what to update. Yeah, that's it. So Maheen, you tell me React's reconciliation process, like you need to describe how it is done and how does React determines what to render and when to render. Simply whole reconciliation process.
So, reconciliation process is related to virtual DOM. Whenever some state of the prop change or something updation is occur in the React component, so it's create a new virtual DOM. So this is the what the process of reconciliation. So let me tell you that So in reconciliation, very first when something change or updation occurs in React component, so first it create a new virtual DOM, and this is the first process. Then in second, in reconciliation is the um, three process in happen. First is create a new virtual DOM, and second step it's change it's identify the what is the difference between a previous virtual DOM and the new virtual DOM. And once it will identify the difference, then in third step, it finds a efficient way to update the real or actual DOM, we can say, and it will update only those parts. So, our whole UI don't re-render, okay, and it should not be change whole UI or actual DOM. So this is the watch reconciliation process, and also using this it's a very good way to maintain and perform increase the performance of our React application. So it's also decrease the number of the re-rendering because manipulating directly or actual DOM it's very expensive. So this is what reconciliation.
Fine. This was very structured. Okay, Vishal, tell me about what is memoization in React and how does the React.memo high order component help improve the performance of any React application?
Actually, I didn't understand what are you asking. Like,
Okay,
what's the question?
I asked about memoization. So we have a technique called memoization where we use the use memo hook. So what is the memoization at first and how we use it?
Okay, so basically, I'll tell you what's the use memo. Okay, so basically, use memo is like prevent unnecessary re-renders by memorizing components output. Like whatever the output it is memorized for some period of time and prevents unnecessary re-renders. So this is what use memo it is. And like if you talk about performance optimization techniques, so yeah, we use memo to avoid re-rendering. This is one of the performance optimization technique. And we have one more thing is called lazy load components, like react.lazy. So it is also used to optimize the uh, like performance optimization technique. And we can also avoid unnecessary state updates so that entire UI can be like more optimized. And like yeah, this is what I know about
Yeah, that
this.
is fine. Although I asked about only memoization, but you also reiterated over react.lazy and all. That's good. Okay, Santosh, you tell me about mm, what is the difference between functional components and class components?
Okay. So in functional components and class components. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Uh, Functional components and yeah. Uh, can you repeat the question? Actually, I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. You need to tell me about first functional components and class component. Difference between functional components and class components. Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So yeah, in a functional components, the class components is basically using the used to the React in a class components and in a no in React and components. Uh, yeah, simple uses function in a just give me 1 second. I will cover I will uh,
Yeah, take a few seconds and structure your answer.
okay. class and the okay. In React, the functional components and the class components are two ways to defining the components. Okay, and one is the syntax, and the second one is the state management. And okay, so I know the two function and like two function components to like a class and the functional components. Both the types of components serve the same purpose of re-rendering UI and the managing UI and the managing the state and the props. They are defining the syntax and the structures and the capability capability uh, capability. Okay, so first is the syntax. So syntax is a component simpler are defining the JavaScript function. They are easier areas to read, write understanding, especially for the smallest components. The second one is in a fun in a function component syntax. In a class components are defining the class components are defining the ES6 class and the extend the React.components. Uh, yeah, and the second one is state management. State management, I know about the like function components, but I will try to like cover up the both of the components. Initially, the functional components are where the state stateless what say the is it uh, stateless with the introduction to hooks like a use state. That's it. But I know about that. Not
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You answered. That's a good thing. Okay, mine. Last question to you. You need to tell me what is the difference between use callback hook and use memo hooks.
Okay, so use callback and use memo both are the React book for the performance optimization. For example, we have a very expensive calculation. Let's talk about first use memo. For example, we have very expensive calculation, and every time we don't want to to take time to take that calculation, so we use here use memo. Use memo syntax something similar to use effect. We have a dependency array. Whatever require input, if this state like change, so our calculation should be again right. It should be again calculate. So we will add those states in the dependency array, and until the state will not change, my this calculation will be not occur again and like not calculate again and again. So this way we can handle the handle the expensive calculation, and we can store the value until the are important or those states are not changes. So use memo using for using for memorize the expensive value, and stop to again calculate that expensive value. And second one is use callback. So like use memo is storing value, and use callback is the for function if for storing a function. If we have some function is and it's taking a time, so we use here use callback function, use callback hook, and then also it's have a dependency array. We will add some value or state inside that dependency array. And if those states will change or update, then our that function will recreate again and work again. So this is what we use use memo and use callback.
Fine, nice. So that was enough. I don't think I need to add onto it. So yeah, that was it. We had 4 rounds, and everyone had questions which has good conceptual basis and good theoretical as well. So yeah, so this was day 4. So we will meet tomorrow with a new interviewer and with some lot of interesting questions. So stay tuned and check our latest post for latest interviews. And also, if you want to also get featured into these interviews, you can also reach to us, or you can fill the form, which we will be sharing in the description or in the comments. So yeah, stay tuned and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you so much.